This video is sponsored by Wix. Hi everyone! I noticed how many views I'm getting on my commission guide videos lately, so I figured that there's an increasing interest in commission guides. I even had a few emails from artists who are asking me if I can explain how to set up a commission info page as well as where they should put their info. So today's video is going to be a guide or tutorial to set up your commission info, and I won't just cover what to include but also how to present it. You might remember I made a whole guide a few months ago on how to build a professional online portfolio for your art with Wix editor, and I very shortly mentioned the commission page then too, but today I'll take you through the whole process as we rebuild my commission info page from scratch. So first of all, where should you put your commission info? I already mentioned this in my portfolio guide, but I want to emphasize that you should definitely put your info on your website. That way, every time someone checks out your info, you get traffic on your website. And as an artist, you should definitely have a website, a place to showcase your best work, designed by you to best complement your artistic style. And it will be easier for future clients to get in touch with you if they can just find you through your website. I get a lot of inquiries from my website's contact forms that I don't think I would have received otherwise, so I strongly recommend you get a website for your art. An artist's website is like a piece of art in itself, and you show that you really care about your work too. So step 1, go to wix.com/go/Nadiaxel and sign up to get your own website on Wix for free if you haven't done that already, and then come back here and follow along. Let's jump into the Wix editor. Now, my commission page is currently a little all over the place. I have some floating text here and there. The different commission categories I have are not well enough separated, so it looks really crammed together. My conclusion in this case is that I'm basing my info too much on text with far too few graphics. I want to present my new commission info almost like a piece of art in itself by using images, big colored areas, and font titles and icons. So let's get rid of all of this and start building a proper commission page. First, you'll want to add the page title as well as a little greeting or intro text explaining what this page is about. Just click Add out here to the left, select text, and simply drag them onto your page. You'll notice I'm just copying in my old text, but you should write your own. I want to add a little page icon too. If you go back into the Add menu, you'll find a lot of graphics on the vector art that you can freely use on your site. Once you place the icon, you can customize them too. I'm changing the color of the heart and rotating the image slightly. When you place elements on your site, make sure to stay inside the dashed lines. This ensures that all of the content will be shown regardless of which device or screen size it is being viewed from. You can align all of the elements by marking them all and then go to this little toolbar over here. While your elements are selected, click on the Align button and center your content. I'm also adding a button going straight to my Terms of Service page. I'm hosting my terms on a separate page, otherwise it would be way too cramped in here. I'm customizing the icon on the button by selecting a different one from Wix's media library, and I'm also changing the color and adjusting the text on the button. We'll get back to the Terms of Service page later, but for now let's continue by adding our commission categories. Your categories might be very different from mine. You might offer sketch commissions, line commissions, flat colors, fully colored, cel shaded, chibis, you name it. I currently only offer fully colored illustrations, so my categorization is based on where the character is cropped. So I'll have portrait, half body, and full body as my categories. Let's start by adding a container box. A container box can be used to attach elements together, so it's perfect for containing our text. I'm adding a title as well as a paragraph, and I drag them both inside the container box. Now if I move my container box around, the text inside follows along. I'm starting with my portrait category, so I'm changing the title and adding the price. If you want to learn more about how to price your commissions, I have a whole video on the subject that you can go watch afterwards. The link is in the description. Now I'm just arranging my text inside my container so it looks nice. Now it's time to add some art examples. I personally think it's very important to show examples of your work and better yet display examples corresponding to each category. So I'll add some portrait examples for my portrait category. I want multiple examples, so I want to add a gallery to my page. There are a lot of different gallery templates to choose from. You can get galleries with slideshows, simple and clean looking galleries, fun and more abstract galleries, galleries with collages, but this time I'm just going with the regular grid-based gallery. Once again, you simply drag the element onto your page. The gallery is going to have some default images displayed, so let's change that and replace them with our own examples. Select the gallery and click on Manage Media. This brings up the images currently displayed in the gallery. Delete all of them and hit Add Media and choose Image. This is our media library where you can upload all of your files. I made a folder for my commission images, so let's head in there and get all of our portrait examples and choose Add to Page. Now we're back in this view, but with our own images instead. You can drag them around and rearrange them here too. Hit Done and you'll see your images are now being displayed in the gallery. You can further customize the gallery by clicking on Settings when you have the gallery selected. Go to Layout and choose Custom Layout. I'm choosing an image ratio that better fits with the dimensions of my art, and I choose to only show 3 images per row. This way I make sure the gallery is optimized for the only 3 images I selected. When I'm done customizing, I just close the window because the changes happen live. At this point, you better save your page too. Wix autosaves while you're working in the editor, but it's always a good idea to manually save too. Now I'm making sure my gallery and my container box are well aligned, and I also make sure there is no space between them. As an extra little detail, I'm adding an arrow that shows that this section with the text belongs to the images above. It'll be useful because now we're going to add the other groups below. And this is going to be a piece of cake. Are you ready? It's like cheating on a whole new magical level. Now all you gotta do is replace the examples to match the category and change the text. Keep copy pasting until you have all of your categories covered. Now that we have set up all of our categories, I want to add a little graphical element explaining the overall commission process. I'll add icons from the Wix Media Gallery. I found some that perfectly fits my process, lucky me, and just like before, I can customize the colors and sizes of my icons. Then I'll add the texted steps. Your process might look very different from mine, so just design yours in your own way. I'm also manually inserting the arrows between the steps simply by copy and pasting the first arrow that I inserted. Now there are quite a lot of single elements here, so if you select them all, you can actually group them together. A lot of artists like to include a do's and don'ts list as well. You can put this in your terms too if you want, but I like to put them on the general info page. And with the icons you have available from Wix's media library, you can build a little visual list with check marks and crosses, so your customers get a nice and clean overview over what you will draw and what you won't. Now that we have a page that displays our basic commission info, let's add a custom order form. We're simply going to add a regular contact form and then customize it to become a commission order form. Let me take you through the process. I'm starting out with this price quote form, but pick whatever form you'd like. Drag the form onto the page and resize it so it fits. Select the form and click on Layout. If you change it into a 1-column form and back to a 2-column form, your form automatically adjusts its content. But you can also click in on each field and adjust them manually. You can also turn field titles on and off. In the design settings, you can give your form a makeover and further customize the design. Or click on each individual element inside the form and customize them individually. If you preview your site now, you can see this drop-down field that says Select a Service. I want this to have my commissions in it instead. Go back to the editor, click into the contact form and select the drop-down field. If you have picked a contact form that does not have a drop-down field, you can just add one by clicking Add New Field, Selection, and Drop-down Field. Select the field and click Manage Choices. Edit the choices so they correspond to your commission categories. If you have extras or add-ons to your commission, you can just add another field with those options. Maybe you need one field for different croppings and another for coloring methods. You can customize this form to fit your commission specifically, which is one of the reasons I really recommend getting a web page to host your commission info where you have this sort of customization available. When you have all of your fields set up, remember to check on those that are required for the customer to fill in. I have some text input fields where the customer can paste a URL to a reference image, which is required to fill since I don't really do commissions without references. When you edit a field, you can also change the field's title as well as the placeholder text. And you can also customize the text that will appear when the customer submits the request. I also inserted a checkbox, which is required to be checked. Then I make sure my customers accept my terms of service upon ordering, whether they actually read them or not. Somewhere on your info page, you might also want to put your commission status as either open or closed, so your visitors can see if you're currently available for work or not. And you can also add a lightbox to your commission page to show up once per visit to tell your visitor whether you're currently available or not. There is also another neat trick for processing commission orders without including an order form. You can add your commissions directly to your online store. This requires you to take the full payment up front though, or alternatively sell the commission for half the price and make your customer buy it over turns. Go to your online store and access the store products and add a digital product. Since you don't have a commission ready upon purchase, you can upload a document or a picture explaining the process. Make sure to mention in the product's description that the commission is not delivered instantly, but you will contact the customer and move forward. And make sure you track inventory on your commission products, otherwise you might suddenly have far too many commissions at hand. Set the inventory to the amount of active commission you can handle at the same time. You can always go back and restock once you finish a commission. And lastly, let's move over to the terms of service page. Currently, it's just a wall of text and in no way inviting for anyone to read. So let's set up a design in thread with the design on our commission page using container boxes, titles, and text boxes. Feel free to use and copy my terms if you'd like. I just updated them recently, so if you can use them for yourself with just a few alterations, be my guest. And that is how you can set up a custom commission info page with Wix's editor. I'm still blown away over the insane amount of freedom you get with this editor. I'm constantly inspired to keep changing up the stuff in my portfolio because the possibilities are just endless. Even if you have never had a website before and don't think you have the design skills required to have your own site, you can still have a professional looking website because Wix takes you through a whole guided tour when you set up your site for the first time. And the editor has so many pre-designed elements that you can just customize once you drag them onto your pages. And it has a really amazing mobile editor too, where you can adapt your design without messing up the design on the desktop version. Start building your own professional Wix website and commission page today for free. Just go to wix.com/go/Nadiaxel to get started. Good luck building your commission pages and feel free to advertise your commission info in this video's comment section. Share the commission page you built with Wix and I will make a pinned comment with a collection of some of your commission info sites. And once again, a huge warm thanks to Wix for supporting my channel. Until next time guys, take care.